I want to talk about the cycle of life that has come into our garden, our yard. Let's see if I can give you a picture of this robin. The first time he came here was about a couple of months ago. I guess him and another robin were just feeding. And I looked around and they pulled up there he is. He's got so many holes in his yard. He's picking up all these grubs. He's doing me a favor organically. We were beside ourselves trying to figure out what to do to get this grass to grow back. And our creator sent a bird to pick out the grubs in the lawn. And I'll tell you, they have been doing an excellent job. I'm sure there's thousands of these grubs under this lawn. Thousands. And I'm okay with the fact that they may have to take a long time. Usually it's only 2 of these robins that come in here. I don't know if you can see the holes that they've been poking in the soil. Go right here. Here we go. See that? Yeah, they've been having a good time getting grubs out. I don't know how deep that is, but you snatch them out the lawn. And the wood chips, how they change the soil and make the soil moist. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. You should go to Paul Gauchi, Back to Eden, and where he talks about wood chips and how it changes the soil. And likened into a forest, how our creator layers every season, and over time it enriches the soil, causing plants to grow up, and you never see nobody in the forest trying to mine the forest plants and water them. You don't see that. So what we've done in our garden is to speed up the process also by applying wood chips to the area of the soil that has caliche, which is the worst soil here in Nevada. All salted and rock hard caliche. So this wood chips over time, as long as you wet it and keep it wet occasionally, it will decompose and change the soil structure. The needles adding the nitrogen, the leaves, the wood is adding the carbon. And we've taken that step also to make sure that we incorporate the same thing, wood chips, and then straw over the wood chips. That's like a double bonus. Some people don't like straw. They say it's cellulose. But we've been using it and having good results because it will decompose. And what we've done is taking the wood, see the wood chips here? Look at that. And then the straw over it. Now look and see how moist this is. I watered this 2 days ago. Wow. The chips have changed the structure of the soil, and all our boxes got worms in them. Let's see. Yeah, you can see a little life in there. The soil, how moist it is. So yeah, this works and it prevents you from watering a lot, especially when we have water restrictions because of a severe drought here in Las Vegas. So anyway, that's the tour. If I can find that robin again, because I just wanted to focus on that robin, not the garden itself this time. But we are getting fruit here. So things are fruiting. We have them, a lot of things now, this time in containers. See? And it's thyme, and then there's some cayenne pepper plants that are coming in also. Here we go. So we are getting fruit. Haven't got any squash yet, but we'll wait and see if that's going to happen. I had to pollinate the eggplant yesterday, or 2 days ago. So, I think I can make this real quick. Go down Tomato Alley. Welcome. Yep. Hibiscus in here along with, I think, mint. Oh, yes, mint and hibiscus together. Then you have burdock. I think it's burdock, and having another okra coming in here. I'll be glad when the okra plants will get up to 4 to 5 feet high. So they're not at their potential yet. Strawberry. I grew some strawberries. My granddaughter took them off there and they haven't grew any more. And this is a kumquat tree along with squash. Buttercup squash is what this is. and still having problems trying to get the I'm trying to think what that is. Pomegranate to grow. 67. I better use an association to grow. We have another location. We have 2 other properties, but at the office where we have pomegranate, there's pomegranate all over. So it's got to be a soil additive. I mean, we probably wouldn't have got that had it not fertilized in January, February. I'm sorry, but my wife did a pruning thing last season, so it was bushy, so she wanted to cut it. We'll see. Another okra, calindia. It's a flower plant that we have bought. Those are potatoes down here. Potatoes. And the sweet potato down here. I'm going to move that. I'm going to move this, the squash, because they can't take the heat. They're supposed to be a sun-loving plant, but they're not. Not in Nevada. In Nevada, this is hell. If you don't cover your garden here in Nevada, you won't have one. I know people want to say, yeah, I can't plant in the desert. It's just too hot. You can plant in the desert, just like you can in Pennsylvania, Northern California. But what you can't do is let your fruits and vegetables be exposed. Fruits meaning not just fruit on trees or bushes, but fruits like squash and cucumbers and things. Those are also known as fruits. Be out in this hot sun. I mean, it is horrible. I mean, I soaked this box this morning with water, and the heat is just stressing them out. So I'm gonna move it. So if it lasts through the evening, this evening, I'm moving this. I'll get a dolly and move it down here in the shade down there. So, and these are wildflowers. You can get these flowers online. American Metals. They're beautiful. All kind of gorgeous flowers you can have in your yard to pollinate your garden. Rosemary. And then we also have, I forgot the name of that already. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's a grain amaranth. So we have amaranth and rosemary over here. Cannabis. I have a license for it. Let's see. I was hoping this squash plant with this Nepali giant would take off, and I haven't seen anything yet. I'll have to do some more fish fertilizer in another week. I think maybe do this week. But we've been cutting pieces off the Nepali and replanting them in the front because nothing can grow in front of our property. The sun is just too voracious. So, and this corn, I said I'm gonna get rid of it. I got this corn at the nursery. And look at it, it's so weird. It's not gonna be a corn. It is, husk is empty. There's nothing in there. And this thing's been here for 4 months and nothing grew. Corn should have been high like in my grandmother's farm when I was a child. She owned 27 acres. Ella York Cooper, my nana. My sister and them called her Bomb Bomb because they couldn't, I guess they were trying to say grandma when they were little and they ended up saying Bomb Bomb. But I didn't like that. And this is gold berries that'll be growing here. Yeah, in fact. Yeah, all right. So there's some berries down there. Flowers get ready to come up. So that's great. So we are getting some things, and I try to focus on what's going right rather than what's going wrong, because there's enough you can focus on every day in any part of your life, other than garden too, to focus on some negative, things that will bring your spirit down or cause you, to be like in a death state. Look at these grapes. For the first time, we're getting grapes that got larger than a pinhead. So maybe they might come to full size. So there are the ones in the back that I showed you were Sauvignon grape. Now, mind you, the grapevines that I showed you are seed grapes. We didn't buy any seedless. That's just a way to keep you hungry, because you can never replicate what you bought with GMO plants. And this, come on, Gary. This is a Cabernet Sauvignon. Yeah. So those Cabernet grapes. And a Swiss chard here. This box is doing well. This box struggled. The sun hit it, so I'm going to put up a sunshade. I have materials already, so that's probably this weekend. We'll have our grands, but put up a sunshade so that sun, when it's over here, it's burning this box, so nothing can grow in here. So that's something to fix. One thing you discover on a homestead is always work to do. Always. It's kiwis. And you got then lavender plants again, and mixed in with Swiss chard and some pole beans and calendia and some mint here. More Swiss chard, amaranth with sunflowers, and this is my beautiful baby. It's the first time I've had an eggplant that looked this healthy. I can never grow eggplants, not even in our raised garden beds. But look like I pollinated them, hand pollinated them yesterday. There's a video on that. And you can go there to see that also. And we have flowers. We are raising flowers in these containers because we want pollinators. Hopefully in the summer everything will be up. These are wildflowers from American Metals also. And so this flower growing up here is called Lycium. Anyway, I planted on March the 15th. You can see the date here. It's always good to label your markers. That way you have the date, the name of the flower, seed, MD for mature date, 49 to 84 days, and S/FS stands for shade or full sun. So when you put that information on your markers in your garden, it gives you a way to track what's going on in your garden. And always taking photos and making notes. You see our tomatoes are coming in, and they're also in containers. More amaranth mixed with sunflower seeds to feed us and the birds. So we are getting fruit. In fact, this one's trying to turn on me. There we go. Get ready for a eat. My grandchildren come out here and they pick on Swiss chard, spinach. We just got through exhausting that. You know, so they come out, they know they were raised since they were infants to appreciate our gardens, Nana and Pawpaw's garden. And so it's been sunflowers facing backwards. You can't turn it around, but it was rubbing up against the 50% shade cloth that I got from Grower Solution in Wisconsin. They're good folks down there. Ask for Dusty if you need shade cloth. So I just wanted to take this time to the Swiss chard's getting the sun, so I don't we will have to. My wife has been taking some of this out here. It was packed and relocated in other parts of the garden where it wasn't so sunny. Lemongrass, onions here, dinosaur kale, German kale, you know, so we'll be relocating some of those also. And I'm gonna clean this box out because this box, there's some mint here, so I have to be careful not cleaning it out, and it's flowers. But the rest of this I'm gonna clean out and we'll plant something else. And more rosemary. I think this is sage. This is apatina. You can see the leaves on here. It's also an herb. Let's walk down here real quick. And these are more American wildflowers with all pollinators and sunflowers. This is lemon tree. It didn't give me no fruit, so I'm gonna take it up and buy another one next year. I'm not gonna worry about it. If I focus on it, I'll get stressed out and angry. And right here, see what the sun's doing to also the nasturtium. It's draining them. I ain't got time to get back there with my back issues, so I'm going to just let nature take care of it. Let our Creator take care of that. And if it greens back up, it was lush back here and green. These things were big as my palm. Some of them still can see they're pretty large, just the comparison. See that? So it's pretty big, almost as big as the palm of my hand. So you can eat those leaves of the nasturtium and the flowers. This is dill. You can see it start going to seeds, so we'll take those seeds and package them up. And so we want to let people know, when you garden, don't get stressed out because your plants start dying. It's a natural process. The word biologically is called plant sensing, like a sense. In other words, that's the way the plant communicates to us know that it's on its way out, and then the insects come and help take the plant out further. If your plant's got full nutrition and water in it, you won't have problems with insects like that. Besides, in Japan, they pay a high premium to have imperfect vegetables with holes in it. You know, they don't want to eat the stuff that has no damage at all, because that means that the insects didn't like it. The insects didn't like it. They don't want to eat it. So here you go. You see them grapes? There we go. I mean, last year, all we got was, I mean, they were about half the size you see now. Of course, they do need sun, but we get in Nevada sun, I don't know. See that? Sauvignon Cabernet, I think I said that before, yeah. And these are Apatina. No, not Apatina. Ashwagandha, sorry. These are ashwagandha leaves. And the seeds here you see are encased. Some of them are out, they turn red. These grapes just remind me of my childhood. Back there in the day, I mean to digress, when you walk down the neighborhood where I lived at in Columbus, Ohio, Reynoldsburg, back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and some 80s, people who had fruit trees, you could smell the grapes from the street. That's how nutrient dense and packed with macro and micronutrients and enzymes and fruit should be. It smells like the perfume that our Creator created. That's the best perfume in the world. Man could try to chemically make up some perfume in the lab and sell it on the market, but our Creator knows how to make scents to overwhelm you with passionate smells of lush, packed mineral vitamins that contains in the fruit and vegetables that He created. He's just using us as a vessel. It's nothing but our Heavenly Father doing the work. We just in physical bodies. He's using us. It's a sage. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think it is sage. It is sage. It's going to seed. And here's white sage over here. I wouldn't have known none of this one from my wife. She's a certified master herbalist. So she identifies plants. She still has to do her secondary master's walk, but she's up for the task. So this is a apricot tree, and we took off apricots off of it yesterday. I don't know if it's going to get any more because it's getting warmer now. But anyway, so we are planting things in containers, as you can see. So it's a joy to be able to understand the process, the botany, and the biological process of soil, and also how to grow your food, freeing you, letting you live sustainably and healthy with less health problems, having an alkaline bloodstream from eating right out your garden raw without getting salad dressing. It's the best time to eat your greens. You can juice them too, they're great. But best time to eat your greens, early in the morning. Go out and start picking off the leaves of some spicy mustard or some Swiss chard or German kale or sweet potato leaves. I mean, that's what you call living. I mean, it really settles your stomach. It adds the immune boosting nutrients and enzymes that's in that plant into your body. So, let me see. See up here, we cover this tree because the birds like our black mulberries just as we do. And I guess when we bought this tree 4 years ago now, Nevada didn't allow mulberry trees because they said they're too invasive. Well, we're going to propagate that tree and grow some more. Put them in containers in case we have to leave because of water issues here in the state. I hope that we have water the next 5-10 years. I don't see it, but these houses won't be worth a doggone plug nickel. So, anyway, this cane lily may have to move it because they're not heat tolerant plants. You can already see they're browning. The other cane lilies are doing well, actually. This passion fruit. Oh, passion fruit. I wanted to show you what passion fruit looks like. I only see one. Last year we had 3. Only 1 flower. This year, we have about 30 flowers bloomed, and all I can see is 1 passion fruit. You can look this up online. They're very delicious. You see that? And these vines were down on the tree low about 3 or 4 years ago. Now they have used this tree as a skeletal structure. And there's no way I can get up there and pull these vines out. They've been up here for years now. So I'll have to go up there buy another ladder from Home Depot, about 12-foot ladder, and see if I can find any more fruit, because I don't want to let that go. The strawberries, the plants are healthy, sign of good nitrogen uptake. I don't see any, no strawberries yet, so maybe, who knows. So in the garden, if you focus on, the things that you're doing right and not doing wrong, you will be a successful gardener. Besides, you can never have a garden and say you never had a problem. You would be lying. You're going to incur problems in the garden. You just have to work outside the box and figure out how to overcome them. What you need to overcome in your garden, so that you'll be successful. All right, this is Gary in North Las Vegas. This is our Back to Eden Garden. You can find us on YouTube. And I just want to take this time to seriously thank all of you who look at our videos. We hope that you can learn from us. If you got questions, please leave them for us. And check us out on our YouTube page. Push the like button, push the subscribe button for more new content. And if you have any comments, leave them. I will get back with you. Again, thank you for taking time to look at our garden here. And we hope that it will encourage you and inspire you to start growing your own greens, so that your life will be enhanced. Not only just physically, but mentally. Your brain serotonin and dopamine levels, all those hormones will realign by eating out of the garden. And this is our Back to Eden Garden. Thank you. And you guys have a good day and love one another.